Alright, back for another beer review, and today I'll be reviewing yet another beer from RaR Brewing, and they're out of Cambridge, Maryland, and this is their out of order, the Not for Kids variant. So this is a pastry sour that is brewed with copious amounts of passionfruit, lemon, lime, along with grape and blue raspberry snow cone syrup, pastry cream, and lactose. It comes in at 5% alcohol by volume. No IBUs listed. Time of review. And this can is just under 4.5 months old. And I picked this one up at Halftime Beverage via halftimebeverage.com. So in the description box, I'll post a link to the beer mail unboxing video I did that contains all the goodies that I grabbed. And I picked up 31 beers in total. And 10 of those were a mixed 10-pack from RaR that included 1 pastry stout, 3 hop forward beers, and 6 beers within this out of order pastry sour series. And all of the out of order beers are trying to mimic a popular American cereal in sour beer form. And this one, obviously, they're trying to go for Trix. Silly rabbit, Trix are for kids. But this beer, not for kids because it's 5% alcohol by volume. Now, I say this a lot in my reviews. I try not to go into any review with preconceived notions. However, one of the other beers within this series that I reviewed, which was the Snoop-a-Loop variant, it was trying to mimic Fruit Loops in sour beer form, that also had Grape Snow Cone Syrup. And the Snow Cone Syrup completely ruined the beer for me. That was the only beer of the 4 I've reviewed so far that I thought was terrible to my palate. Would not drink again. It was a drain pour. I actually dumped it out. And that Grape Snow Cone Syrup was like someone took a Kool-Aid packet and threw it into my heavily fruited sour. It just dominated everything. It wasn't great. The reason I'm telling you that is because this one has grape and blue raspberry snow cone syrup. I don't know what the whole reason is to put that specific ingredient or those 2 ingredients in a beer like this. I wish they would just go with some kind of puree like the other. They have passion fruit, lemon, and lime. It's not the snow cone syrups. It's just those fruits and probably fruit puree. So I have no idea, but I'm letting you know up front that there's a high probability I do not like this one because of the snow cone syrup. We will see. Like the other ones, well, except for the first one, I cracked it open over the sink, and this one I probably lost about 2, maybe 3 ounces of it, and it has a wild like green tinge to it. So this is definitely not going to look like beer. Everyone who has seen the other reviews, they're like, wow, that looks gross. It looks like, milk or eggnog or whatever. This one's going to even look grosser or maybe even look better. I don't know. Let's give it a pour into the glass here. But as you can see, this is poured out like somebody colored some kind of milk. But as you can see, I'm pretty sure this glass holds 17 ounces, and I'd say there's probably 14 to 15 in my glass. So it definitely lost quite a bit of it. And I love the labels of these. I mean, they try to do, like the mascot of the cereal, not for kids. You have their mascot looking like he got beat up a little bit, but he has it looks like a cup of Trix, not a bowl, a cup of Trix. So what does this look like? Well, a lot of you are going to say it looks disgusting, and it does. It doesn't look like beer. It just doesn't. It looks like some kind of crazy fruit smoothie or milk concoction or yogurt drink, whatever you want to call it. Thick and turbid, milky looking. This one again has that like almost like the blue milk if it was more of a greenish tinge, but like a lot of breweries are doing the blue milk for the May 4th for Star Wars. That's what this kind of looks at. You got a little bit of the remnants from all the pastry cream and everything in there, but yeah, whatever. It looks wild. I'll just be honest with you. I don't know why they put passion fruit in here either. I love passion fruit. I absolutely love passion fruit. When I think about Trix, I don't think about passion fruit, but whatever. It doesn't smell like a whole lot. It smells like a generic fruity kind of concoction. Maybe more lemon lime than anything else. So I'll say more of like a lemony lime kind of like, almost smells like a Sprite or a 7-Up or something. It still has that yogurty, milky, pastry cream, lactose kind of vibe in the nose. I'm not getting the passion fruit. The snow cone syrup is not coming through in the nose. Like it doesn't smell like a snow cone or like Kool-Aid or any kind of like, fruity kind of drink that would be aimed towards kids. It doesn't smell bad, but it just doesn't smell like a whole lot, which is weird because a lot of these have been very aromatic and certainly very intense on the palate. So let's get into it. Cheers, everybody. Please don't be a drain pour. I just can't do it, man. Oh, man. You know what? You know what the finish of this one reminds me of now? Let me go back for another sip. I really don't want to, but let me go back for another sip. The finish of this is like you just downed a pixie stick that was grape or like blue raspberry flavored. But at the same time, you got like I can't even remember. Pixie sticks were mostly sweet, right? Or did they have sour ones? If they have a sour pixie stick where it's sweet and sour, that's exactly what the taste of this is. Is it delicious? It has I like growing up as a kid, we all like sugary stuff. As an adult, that to me is just pure on like confectionery sugar with no redeeming quality for me. It's like busting open like a Kool-Aid packet, mixing it with sugar, but not dissolving it in any water. You know what I mean? Just like downing it. Yeah, this isn't for me. I'm going to try to review it as best as I can, but I'll tell you right now, this is another drain pour. And if I pick up more RaR out of order series beers going forward, again, this was a mixed 10-pack. All these were in there. You couldn't, mix and match. It was just Halftime did like a predetermined kind of mix pack, right? If I buy stuff from them, if I see any kind of snow cone syrup, it's not for me. And some people have said they love this. Some of my friends on Tap and whatnot. So if you like the snow cone syrup in like a beer like this, then you'll probably love this one. It's just, I can't do it. The body in this one is probably the thinnest of the bunch. Higher side of medium, lower side of full. It's not as thick and milky as the other one. So I think that's one thing this has going for it. The mouthfeel does has a decent carbonation, like mild to moderately carbonated. It's smooth and creamy. It has the pastry cream and lactose, so it's helping out for sure. The taste is just, it starts out okay. Like, man, I'm trying to review this, so I got to go back for sips, but I almost don't want to. So tip of the tongue, I get kind of like a tart, sour lemon and lime. And it's nice. It's almost like, again, like almost like a lemonade or a limeade or like combination of the two. I get no passion fruit in here whatsoever. It's the first ingredient. Listen, I do not get it. And I love passion fruit and I eat it occasionally. And I've had a lot of beers with passion fruit. This no passion fruit. It's lemon lime for me. But somewhere about a third of the way to maybe half a way through the palate, the snow cone syrup hits. It's grape, it's blue raspberry. And blue raspberry is a fake flavoring. Obviously, there's no blue raspberries. And the grape flavoring is kind of like, again, like a Kool-Aid, something like that. Or even like a grape like Gatorade. And that, as soon as that hits, it dominates the palate all the way to the finish. Finishes with that sweet and sour kind of pixie stick kind of vibe. The one thing I'll say about this one, this might be the most sour of the bunch. It's almost mouth puckering on the back of the palate. It definitely has that mouth puckering kind of sourness. So this is firmly sour. There's real no acidity here. It finishes decently dry, like semi-dry. So this is a pros for this, kind of like I did with the Snoopaloop. Pros. I think the body and the mouthfeel actually make it way more drinkable. I like the fact that it has a nice pop of sourness on the finish, and it has a nice dryness, and this is not sickly sweet. Let me key in on that. Sickly sweet, overly sweet. This is not cloying. Is it sweet? It is. This beer is, it's a pastry sour. It's going to be sweet. I just hate that finish. This doesn't taste like Trix whatsoever, or at least the Trix I haven't had Trix in like 30 years, but the last time I had Trix, when I was a kid, teenager, I don't remember tasting like this. This is some kind of crazy concoction that if you love the fake grape and blue, the artificial or even natural blue raspberry and grape or grape and blue raspberry flavoring, and you want something like this is going to hit the nail on the head for you. For me, it definitely doesn't. And you can see the disappointment on my face again because, I always want every beer I grab to be good, but at least now I know with these beers specifically, stay away from the snow cone syrup for myself. I can't do it. It ruins the experience. 5% you can't tell. Out of order, the not for kids variant. It's also not for average Joe here on the Beer Patrol. Go low 2 out of 5. I'll go 1 point. You know what? No, I'm gonna go 1.75 out of 5. I just can't, man. I just can't. Price point availability. Again, this came in that mixed 10-pack, so it's $44 for that. $4.40 I paid for this can essentially, but if you buy these in 4-packs on their website or at their brewery, I think they're $22 4 packs, so $5.50 a can. Would I pay that for this? No fucking way would I ever pay that any amount for this beer. But if this is something you like, it's right in the realm of any other heavily fruited sour, like Mortalis and froth here in the Western New York area, and then for Quantum, usually $22 to $25 a 4-pack. So it's not much more expensive. It's actually a little bit cheaper than some. Availability, I don't really know with RaR other than I think they get on Halftime Beverage. They might get on Tavour. You can order from their website. They only ship to certain states. And then otherwise, you might see drips and drabs in your neck of the woods. If you're more on the East Coast, Midwest, and you're in a bigger city, you probably see some of their stuff. But I have one left. It's I Say Boo, and it's a blueberry inspired one. I save that one for last because it has the least amount of crazy fucking ingredients. It's just blueberries and marshmallows. They say a double dosing of blueberries and marshmallows. So it's blueberries and marshmallows. That sounds it's the least simplistic one, or the most simplistic one, the least complex, and it just sounds like that's going to work better for what I want. Will it mimic blueberry? I have no idea. The cereal, but blueberries is a cereal, again, I haven't had in 30 years, but I hope it tastes like that, and I hope it's not over the top, but we will see. So if you've had this one before, please post in the comment section. Let me know what you thought about it. Obviously, as you can see, disappointed, but again, kind of knew going into this one with the snow cone syrup that it wasn't going to be for me. And I'm going to take one little sip at the end. Shout out to Harry out there who comments on most videos nowadays, and he's like, I didn't want you to take that last sip. I got OCD, Harry. I got to take this sip at the end. Otherwise, it's not a Beer Patrol review. Right? Cheers, everybody. Help me.